During the Cold War, entire governments were shaken by spies who betrayed their nations. But one man didn't just witness that hidden war, he wrote it into novels so real that intelligence agencies wondered if he had revealed their secrets. His name was John le Carré. Chapter 1. The Making of a Spy. David Cornwell, later John le Carré, was born October 19, 1931, into a family of secrets. His father, Ronnie, was a master swindler, thriving on charm and deception. For young David, lies were common. Debts, police visits, sudden disappearances, routine. This upbringing gave him an extraordinary gift, reading faces, sensing danger, living behind a mask. By the time he reached Oxford, the Cold War was raging. Britain needed men who understood deception and languages. Cornwell, fluent in German, trained in psychology, was perfect. Recruited into MI5, he shadowed communist sympathizers, infiltrated student groups, tested loyalty with traps. Soon, he was pulled deeper into MI6, Britain's foreign intelligence service. His assignments took him to West Germany. The Berlin Wall split families, friends, nations. Imagine standing on a rain-slicked street watching soldiers raise concrete barriers. For Cornwell, every encounter felt lethal. He carried coded messages, tailed suspects through bomb-scarred neighborhoods, interrogated men who smiled while hiding secrets. It was here he learned the hard truth. Espionage wasn't glamorous. It was silence, suspicion, and the terrifying knowledge that one mistake could lead to disappearance or death. Chapter 2. From secret agent to secret author. Even in the shadows, Cornwell was writing. Late at night, in cramped rooms, he crafted stories of betrayal under the pen name John le Carré. It was meant to be harmless, an escape from espionage's suffocating silence, but the line between fiction and truth blurred fast. In 1963, his third novel, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, detonated. The story of Alec Leemers, a weary British agent sacrificed in a ruthless Cold War game, shocked readers. Unlike Ian Fleming's glamorous James Bond, le Carré's world was grey, cynical, cruel. No tuxedos or Aston Martins, just rain, betrayal and despair. The public devoured it, critics hailed it as a masterpiece. But in intelligence circles, the reaction was different. How could he describe operations, interrogations, betrayals with such accuracy? Colleagues whispered, was he exposing classified information or disguising reality in fiction? Then came the rupture. His MI6 cover was compromised, partly by Kim Philby's treachery, the double agent who gave British secrets to the Soviets. Once exposed, Cornwell could no longer serve in the field. But the end of his intelligence career birthed something bigger. The pen, once his outlet, became his weapon. Through it, he'd reveal a side of espionage governments desperately wished to hide. Chapter 3. The Secrets Between the Lines. After MI6, le Carré wrote not as an outsider, but as someone who breathed the stale air of interrogation rooms, watched colleagues slip into double lives. His novels, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Smiley's People, The Honourable Schoolboy, became more than thrillers. They were coded maps of a hidden world, to ordinary readers, gripping stories. But to intelligence insiders, they struck too close to reality. Characters resembled real figures, plots mirrored actual scandals. His George Smiley novels echoed the Cambridge Five, British spies who betrayed their country to the KGB. Each page captured the era's paranoia, the quiet dread of betrayal not by enemies, but by trusted friends. Around dinner tables in London and Washington, intelligence veterans debated, how much was he revealing? Did he still possess forbidden knowledge? Some wondered if his books were subtle confessions, releasing truths no one could officially challenge. Readers thought they were enjoying fiction. Insiders felt uncomfortable recognition, staring at distorted reflections of their own classified files. Le Carré never confirmed or denied. He let the tension linger. For him, espionage wasn't about disguises or gadgets. It was about betrayal, the slow, inevitable erosion of trust that left scars deeper than bullets. Chapter 4. betrayal, morality, and shadow wars. What sets le Carré apart? His refusal to glamorize. While James Bond dazzled with charm, women, gadgets, le Carré dragged readers into the mud of real intelligence work. His spies weren't superheroes. They were flawed men and women, compromised by lies, discarded when no longer useful. George Smiley, his most enduring creation, was the anti-Bond. Overweight, middle-aged, often ignored, yet he saw truths others missed. Smiley wasn't a fantasy, he was a confession, a reminder espionage was less about style, more about survival. This perspective clashed with Britain's official image. Bond films were propaganda, polished, patriotic, thrilling. Le Carré's novels were warnings. Behind the curtain, governments manipulated, deceived, even destroyed their own. He exposed the hypocrisy. In Shadow Wars, morality was expendable. His message was dangerous. It undermined myths. It showed espionage as corrosive, eating away at institutions and individuals. He argued that in this game, victory was hollow. Everyone lost pieces of their soul. That was his haunting cliffhanger. If James Bond was Britain's fantasy, John le Carré was Britain's confession. His novels revealed not what governments wanted us to see, but what they hoped we'd never discover. Chapter 5. Death of the Spy Writer. December 2020. John le Carré, 89, died in Cornwall from pneumonia. Tributes came swiftly. World leaders, writers, even spies saluted him as the Cold War's greatest chronicler. The BBC declared him the greatest spy novelist of our time. But his death triggered questions. Had he taken secrets to the grave? Were unpublished manuscripts holding sensitive revelations locked away? In intelligence, silence often speaks louder than words. Some historians argue le Carré softened details, making books plausible, but never fully revealing classified truths. Others insist he went further than any officer should, smuggling reality into fiction so cleverly censors couldn't stop him. His passing closed not just a life, but an era. He witnessed the Cold War, experienced its tensions, then translated them into stories that outlived the conflicts. Yet readers and spies alike felt unease. What else did he know? What did he choose not to write? John le Carré's death wasn't just the end of a man, it was the sealing of mysteries we may never solve. Chapter 6. The Legacy of Secrets. Today, John le Carré's influence is everywhere. His novels aren't just literary classics, they're study guides for spies. Intelligence officers admit his books helped them understand betrayal, loyalty, human weakness better than official training. Hollywood embraced his work with films like The Constant Gardener and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Yet even these adaptations struggled to capture the quiet dread haunting his pages. His power wasn't in action scenes, but in silence. The moment trust collapsed, betrayal revealed. Beyond literature and film, le Carré left a warning. Secrecy, unchecked, corrodes democracy. Intelligence agencies, he believed, could become cancers in a free society. His stories were mirrors, reflecting not only espionage, but the fragility of truth itself. Here's the final twist. By blending fact and fiction, le Carré ensured no one could fully separate the two. Did he reveal classified secrets, or did he simply understand human betrayal better than anyone alive? Perhaps he no longer knew where fact ended and fiction began. That is his ultimate legacy, a writer who turned espionage into confession and left behind secrets we may never uncover. In espionage, truth is never simple. John le Carré was more than a writer. He was a man who lived between lies and revelations. So, were his novels simply stories or carefully coded warnings about secrets the world was never meant to see? Comment below, and remember, in the world of spies, nothing is ever what it seems.